Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to In the Spotlight with me, Seamus Corey, wellbeing consultant, mental health practitioner, and podcaster. Who are you, Rudy? And what finds you part of the Founders Network and the founder father or the founder father of the Founders Network? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so my name's Rudy, obviously, and I think sort of like why we create the Founders Network, or at least for me, is that when we started our first business, for me personally, I felt quite isolated because I didn't go to university, I didn't go to like like a business school or anything, so I was sort of jumping into the deep end. So it was all super new and quite scary. And I found that not only was it isolating, but it was also very difficult to sort of know what to do because there wasn't much guidance, sort of like trying to do everything on my own. And we basically discovered networking, and we found out how like powerful it can be, not only for getting business and signing clients and leads, which is obviously everyone's main goal, but also it makes you feel more there's just more people to talk to. You can meet people who relate to you. And yeah, the Founders Network for us was something that we created because when we were doing our networking, we didn't really feel that there was much emphasis on like community on the networking groups and events we were going to. It was great because we were meeting new people and we were getting leads for our business, but the events felt super transactional. So the reason we create the Founders Network is to actually have a community for business owners and founders where they can all come together, in a variety of different niches and sort of, talk with each other, network. And, our focus is on helping them grow their business. That's the main thing. But we're also really want to emphasize the community side of things. And it's, if you join the Founders Network as a founder, then you have a place to sort of belong and feel, not as isolated.
Okay, thanks, Rudy. How about you, Albert?
Yeah, who am I? That's a great question. So,
Yeah, it's
so
a
how do you?
whopper at the beginning, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Albert. I'm 50% of the Founders Network, and really sort of touched on most of our things, but I'll sort of run it back. So for when I left school, me and Rudy obviously are fairly young entrepreneurs. We've sort of been going at this the past couple of years, but when I left school, I sort of did my A levels, and I sort of had no idea what I wanted to do, and I ended up going into hospitality. So if you ask me at school, I sort of hated talking to people. I'd sort of be quite quiet, and then I went into hospitality where I was serving tables, and then I was like really, built up my skills of talking to people. And then me and Rudy sort of knew I didn't want to do that forever. So then we started a business, and we started our first business called AMLP Media, where we were doing sort of adverts and lead gen, and we were doing cold email. And, after about a year of doing that, we realized we didn't really enjoy it that much. And we sort of why not play to our skills because we could probably talk all day. We sort of love chatting to founders, and, this podcast is perfect for us. So we thought, why not give, we're finding a lot of our clients at networking events. We thought, how hard can it be to run a networking event? It doesn't look that difficult. So we tried to run our first event, and it actually went much better than we thought. We were like, if we get 12 people, we'll have just enough for the breakout rooms. And I think, what do we have, really? About 40 people?
Yeah, we got like
Wow.
40 people on our first one, which was really unexpected, but also it showed that people, actually, are interested in this and see the value in it as well.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. And from that, did the Founders Network start up again, or did you learn lessons from that first networking event and bring it forward to the Founders Network? Or how
Yes,
did
we
that
we
work?
ran that first event, and we knew it wasn't perfect. It's our first event. It's
Yeah.
never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But we were like, well, we want it to be more than just a networking event. There's so many networking events out there, and some of them are great, some of them are rubbish. It's subjective. But we want it to be more than just another networking event that comes together every week. So we thought, why not build a community? So we looked for a community, and we literally couldn't find one. Everything was sort of in person, and we couldn't find sort of an online one. And we sort of thought, there's a space for this. And we created the Founders Network, and we ran another event 2 weeks later, and we showed everybody the Founders Network. We sort of had like a table rush on the event. Everybody sort of 30 to 40 people signed up straight away afterwards. So we knew people wanted it. So yeah, that's sort of how it was born.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely amazing. And And do you guys know each other personally as well as professionally, or do you live close? Or
We're cousins.
there you go, there you go. That's incredible. So very much keeping it in the family, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, no, we've known each other for well, forever.
Forever, yeah.
that's amazing. And did you both know you had this kind of mission and vision? Did you both know that you were, so passionate about business and business growth and business development?
Yeah, so when I sort of quit my job sort of end of 2022, I knew I didn't want to do that
Mm,
very much
yeah.
longer. I sort of started my own business and I sort of knew Rudy wanted to do something similar. I'd heard, through family that he was already starting to do something similar. So I sent him a message and said, why don't you come and see what I'm doing? And he was totally on board with it straight away. We started working together straight away. And then, yeah, it sort of went from there.
Yeah, you guys have a kind of perfect synergy, right? Yeah, you work off each other so well. It seems to me, right, in the best possible way, you've been doing this for years,
We appreciate
right?
that.
Yeah, I think it's just the fact that we've known each other for so long. We pretty
Yeah,
much, when we were really young, grew up together. He lived like 20 minutes away. So I think it's all of that sort of just playing into it, as if we've just known each other forever.
yeah, and it's interesting that you say there, Albert, that you look to find, a network event that would suit, modern business, and there wasn't one. A lot of these events were, I presume, face to face. You ring the bell, you move to the next table, all that kind of stuff. How does the founders network differ to
Yeah.
any
So
other network that's out there?
it's a great question. So when we sort of looked at it, most people that were doing in-person events, it wasn't their main priority. Their main priority, sort of the online stuff, I mean, was sort of a secondary thing for them. Their main thing was
Oh,
the in-person stuff. And, some other people were doing the online events, but their main priority was they ran another business and they just used it to get leads and get clients. We saw nobody really sort of focusing on doing anything online.
wow, that's incredible. And Rudy, you know, um, the Founders Network, obviously you had that launch event, 2 weeks after you came up with the idea. 40 people signed up straight away. Where is it at currently?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was very in the moment that we decided to sort of get into this. We basically came to the end of some contracts with some clients that we had for our agency, and
Yeah.
as Albert said, we didn't really enjoy it. I mean, we'd been doing the agency for over I'm not sure, about a year and a half, and around a year and a half. So,
Mm.
we've been doing it for long enough to sort of realize that maybe we just actually don't enjoy doing this because we made a lot of changes and changes to routine, changes to our actual service, changes to how we reach out to people, and it just never really sort of clicked for us where it became something that we were like, you know in the mornings, for example, I wasn't exactly super excited to start work, but with the Founders Network, I am, like, I'm much more sort of passionate about this. But yeah, to answer your question, it was very in the moment. It was basically, we said, look, we don't enjoy this. Let's just, what can we do? And we're like, and network, it was like straight away, it was like, networking works so well for us. And, let's just do research networking to see how we can make it better. And we sort of came to that conclusion that when we were doing it, there was no emphasis on the community, and also there's no emphasis on the online events. Most of the events, like, you have to drive, quite a bit of time, and some of the in-person events are really good, but if you have a good online event and online community, then everyone can just log onto their computer and make a bunch of great connections in an hour, and it's not something that has to take the whole day out of them. It could just be an hour and a half. So yeah, basically, I think it was like literally a few days we sort of came up with the idea, and then we had our event like 2 weeks after that. So it was from knowing that we were going to switch businesses. Like 3 weeks later, we had our first event, so it was very yeah,
Wow.
we moved quite quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think as
Oh,
well to touch on what Rudy was saying, the networking industry, sort of a whole, is such an old school sort of industry, and I think some
yeah.
real change could be made there. So that's what we're, really focused on is sort of bringing it up to date, bringing our youth and our sort of experience into the Founders Network. And our goal is just to make the online networking space just as great as we possibly can through our events, through our community. Yeah,
Absolutely. And you know, and that rings true, you know, in terms of my own experience. I've been to a couple of network events, and don't get me wrong, I don't function best at 7 a.m. In the morning, you know, over a bacon roll. It just doesn't cut it for me at 7 a.m. in the morning, to be honest about it. In terms of these face-to-face breakfast, and I'm not knocking them. I think they have their place, but you're absolutely right, Albert. You know, the whole generational networking thing needs to come on stream and come online to where it's at right now. And for a lot of businesses like you and me and everybody else, time is very precious, right? It's very precious.
Yeah.
So, you know, in terms of the founders network, how does that work and operate in terms of structure currently? If I was if I was a new entrepreneur coming on the market and I wanted to join a networking event, what would you tell me about the founders network?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is that sort of time saving thing. So all our events are online, and
Yeah.
we put a big focus on making these online events as good as they can be. So for example, we plan our breakout rooms in our community, and that sort of comes from actually getting to know our community members. So every time a new founder or business owner joins the Founders Network, we have a call with them and we basically learn about their goals, their businesses, and most importantly, the people that they're looking to connect with. And then that means that when they're coming to our events, we're putting them in breakout rooms with people that they've, specifically asked for, or people who sort of match their, persona or person they're looking for. And that's how we're trying to make the online events better and not just seem like they were just sort of flowing together and it's like
Mm.
something that happens every few weeks. We want to make the online events really, really good. But we have the online events, which are at the moment we do every 2 weeks. But we also have the community as well. And a lot of our community members have already booking loads of one-on-ones and meeting loads of new founders just from the community. So it's kind of like the time commitment is up to you, really. I
Yeah.
mean, you can come to our events every 2 weeks, or you can spend as much time as you like in the Founders Network and meet as many founders as you like in your own time because we have that community. You get access to the community and not just the online events.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's what you put in is what you're going to get out of it, really.
Absolutely, 100%, and I fully agree with that. As a member of the network, I think it's vitally important. I think one of the things that really works for me is the breakout rooms and having that opportunity to meet other members in a small space under the cost of time is really good. No, you know, those initial conversations lead to other conversations, which lead to connection, which lead to collaboration really. And is the focus for the network connection, or is it collaboration, or is it business growth, or is it business development, or is it all the above?
I would say all the above. I mean, we literally sit down with people when they join and we ask them what they're looking to get out of it. And then we're trying to, we pretty much build them a roadmap and say, look, here's how you're gonna, if you're looking for clients, here's the best way to go about that. If you're looking for an investor, we know a few investors will introduce you. If you're looking for this, you're looking for that, we can make it happen.
Yeah, yeah. Rudy, anything to add to that, bud?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that sort of all the above, like Albert said. I think all those things normally do come from the connection. You're not going to sign loads of clients if you're not putting the time into actually trying to connect with people and talk with
Yeah.
people. So I think that comes first. But then, obviously everyone comes in, and most of them probably have, more than one goal that they want to sign clients, but they also want to, meet you like-minded people. So yeah, I think it all sort of starts from the actual connection part, though.
Absolutely does, and I think that's vital. And if you get that absolutely right, spot on, and you know everything kind of stems from there. Um, in terms of the network, you started with 40 members. How many members have you currently?
So we launched like 2 months ago, wasn't it, Rudy?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we're at 100 members now. So we've grown
Wow.
really quickly, which is, way quicker than we thought. We were like um, just before Christmas. We sort of launched in late November,
Yeah.
and just before Christmas, we were like, if we have, I thought, do we say like 20 or 30
It's
members,
like, yeah, we
Rudy?
have 30 members, then we'll sort of keep doing it. Sort of,
Yeah, I think we had
yeah.
like 60. So we had double what we thought. And then, January we're up to 100 now, and it's just, it's growing so quickly. Something we've been able to position ourselves different from other networking groups as well is that we've been always been able to guarantee that you'll meet new people at every event. Every event doesn't feel stagnant. They all feel fresh and different, which is just amazing as well.
Absolutely, and it's that secret sauce of keeping them fresh, and having the ingredients fresh every single time that I think personally that makes the difference for me. Like I've been to a few now, and everyone has been completely different. Everyone comes at it with a new perspective. I meet different people all the time, so it's an absolutely incredible, powerful tool that I have in my tool bag, which again is down to you guys for putting it together. Um, you're two young guys, right? With a mission and a vision.
Yeah.
What's the vision?
I think the vision is to have the best online networking community,
Yeah,
where, our events are like, the online space, you can't compete with our events. When you get when you become a member of the Founders Network, every single one of our events feel fresh. You're meeting new people every single time. And you also have me and Albert who will actively help you get connected with the right people and, actually make introductions for you outside of the event. And then, of course, have the community as well. So you're surrounded by like-minded people online, which is, our complete focus. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the vision, sorry, just to jump in, is also to make sure every event you're meeting someone new. You're having the opportunity to meet new people every single time. I know how difficult it can be for new business owners to try and book meetings, talk about their business. There's loads of different problems we're solving there, but every event you can meet someone new, and then you have the community to build those relationships, book those one-on-ones, and ultimately you can make real friends with people in the community as well. So yeah, we want to
yeah,
provide people the opportunity to meet new people and then also build relationships with people inside the community as well.
100%. I mean, it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win, right? Um, just a financial question. How do you guys make money at the moment? Or do you make money? Or are you making money? Or, I'm aware that I was one of the lucky ones, having been in November. I didn't come under a membership fee, but I presume there is a membership fee in place now, a kind of yearly subscription, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we launched the community initially for free to get some traction, obviously get some people in there, see if people actually wanted it. And we realized yes. So then we started charging, and now, it's £20 per month. It's super cheap. It's way cheaper than, if you wanted to get a
It's
BNI
amazing.
membership or any other membership in person. We don't feel like if you work from home, why should you be limited to just networking with people that live near you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just network with people all over the UK. And if you work with people in America, network with those guys as well. So yeah, we're way cheaper than any other membership subscription. And yes, £20 to be a member, and you get everything that Rudy and I've been talking about.
That's incredible. That's cheaper than a monthly Starbucks, right?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
cheaper than a coffee every day. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. When you put it in that perspective, right? That's great value for money. That's great value for money. How do you plan to grow the business, guys? What are your plans for growth over? I mean, it's obvious that it's needed. It's obvious that it's wanted. It's obvious that with 100 members on the 31st of January, since launched in November, that's an exponential explosion of growth. Um, are you expecting that growth to tail out? Are you expecting it to triple, quadruple? Where do you expect it to level out? What would be a comfortable number for you?
Yeah, I mean that's sort of what we're working on at the moment is figuring out how to scale it in a effective way. I mean,
Hmm.
we want to scale it quickly, mainly because we want new people to be coming in every time. So, again, our events feel fresh and you're meeting new people every time. Um, so I think for us, it's about, putting systems in place where that growth can sort of come naturally because for us, growing it is takes quite a lot of time. So, for example, we do outreach all ourselves. I mean, most of our time is spent, we're not having meetings with our members or actually running the events, is spent getting people to those initial events and then, actually doing the events as well. So that's something
Hmm.
that we're currently working on at the moment, on how we can, figure out how to scale it in an effective way. But I don't really think there'd be like sort of a limit on it. I mean, obviously, we want to make sure that the events keep their value, but if it got to like crazy amount of members, then we can always just add more events and put on more events and hire some people to help us out with that. So I don't know if Albert, you have any ideas on this, but I don't know if there's like a specific number that would sort of be like a goal as of now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we have a goal of numbers. I mean, we can always just make new communities and integrate communities together. They can interact. We might have one base for the north of the UK and one for the south, just for, online networking and, mix them up as well because, like I said earlier, it shouldn't be just based on where your location is. So yeah, we don't have a set goal on what we're trying to reach, but yeah.
it's I just think it's amazing. I absolutely just think it's amazing. It's amazing what you've achieved in such a short space of time in terms of the Founders Network. But I'm also conscious of the fact that that's been achieved as a result of the life experience that you've both had, both in terms of your professional lives, but also in terms of your networking experience. Some of that you've already said is was good. Some of it wasn't so good, and some of it, as you've said already, Albert, was non-existent in terms of the type of model that you look to deliver on a fortnightly basis. What kind of feedback have you received back from uh, other than me, obviously, who wax lyrical about the Founders Network to everybody and anybody that I meet? What other feedback have you received? Are there going to be changes? Is it going to develop? How is it going to develop? What kind of other elements are you going to bring in? Can you share any of that with me? Is it all top secret at the moment? Is it watch this space? What's happening for you guys at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, feedback wise, I mean, I don't think we expected to everybody to be so supportive of it and, like it as much as we thought it was a good idea, but everybody sort of, you know, put that idea back into our head and confirm that it was a good idea. We've had, amazing feedback from loads of people. So we're thankful for everybody that's said nice things. We've had, a lot of people recommending it and referring it, which is going to be one of the ways we're probably going to be able to scale it pretty quickly as well. But yeah, and then feedback wise, if anybody has any ideas, we've made a super great environment for people to give us
Yeah.
ideas and say, if we put polls up in the community about how we should run the events and all that stuff. We're not just built by me and Rudy, it's all of us together creating this community. And we want that to, we want to make everybody feel that. So we're super open to any feedback and we're willing to test out and try out any event. Every single one of our events feels different at the moment because we're still very new. So we're still testing stuff all the time.
Yeah, it's great. It's kind of exciting at the same time, right? It's
Yeah,
kind
no,
of,
100%.
yeah, it's kind of like I know for me being a training consultant, when I write a new program, right? I've got to test the program works, and I've got to stress test this, as it were, and listen to the feedback and listen to the constructive criticism, and but listen to my own reviews as well in terms of that work, that didn't work. We could do this better. We could shorten this. We could lengthen that. So it's very much. Are you guys kind of in the workshop at the moment, just tinkering with the buttons to see what
Yeah,
kind of?
no, exactly.
Yeah,
Pretty good
yeah.
way of putting it, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, yesterday we ran an event and we changed the format up. And we had so many people join us that we ran over by 10 minutes at the end just because we didn't expect those sort of numbers. But yeah,
Wow.
everything sort of in the beta testing, the events, the community, everything. But we love that everybody's given us great ideas and feedback. I mean, we had a call with someone this morning that's looking to join, and he gave us some great ideas as well. So everybody that's on board with the Founders Network, wants to help it, wants to see it
Hmm.
grow because if the Founders Network grows, it's going to help them, tremendously as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think one of the things for me that's really important as a solo entrepreneur, as a sole trader working here in Manchester, and with a geographical reach of the UK and potentially global across the world. One of the things for you guys as well, it's not only UK, but you've got members coming in from, Canada, Germany, Eastern Europe, America, North America, South America, right? They're coming in from all over, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have people from all over the world. We're more focused right now on just the UK. But when we started growing, we had people join from America and some people from Canada. So yeah, we're super welcome to anybody joining. It's yeah, if you work from home, you serve people in the UK, serve people in America. You see no reason why you shouldn't be part of the Founders Network.
Absolutely. Are you going to copyright your model? Are you going to
Provide
trade? Are you going to
stuff.
trademark your model?
Well, nobody else can do online events. We wish.
Yeah, that'll be really helpful actually. Yeah.
Well. I think I think there are online events happening everywhere, but it's the style and way that you do that makes the difference. Though that's the secret sauce, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
part of it's, I don't want to sound vain, but me and Rudy, I think we complement each other quite well.
100%.
Two other people could put on an event, but they might do a great job, but they're not going to do it the way me and Rudy do it.
Yeah, you almost second guess one another telepathically. You're almost connected. You almost know what the other one's thinking before the
Yeah,
other
no,
one's
when we're
thinking
sort of
it,
on events and we're
right?
like planning out in between the breakout rooms, we're sort of planning the next one, we sort of like have the same ideas on who we should
Mm,
pair with each other. So
yeah.
yeah, we're sort of always on the same page, which has made this whole sort of process of the Founders Network and starting it, just super easy.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I'm conscious of time. Can you believe that's 20 to 3 already, guys?
I know,
20
yeah, it
to
went
3,
quickly.
which is incredible. And can I also celebrate the fact with you both that this is your first ever podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, whoever it might be, if you listen to one podcast, let it be this podcast because this podcast is going to change your life literally by connecting to the Founders Network. Now, that's a mission statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
No pressure, Albert, right? No pressure at all. Um, if somebody was out there today, like me, sitting at home, working away, clinking away on the laptop and wanted to engage with a network, wanted to meet more like-minded individuals in terms of a business network, what would you say to them to encourage them to join the Founders Network? What would you say to them? I'm going to go to Rudy first.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell them to, come along to one of our events and see how they like it. And also, when we welcome new members to the community, they get a free trial. So, me and Albert, we used to obviously have the agency, and personally, my least favorite part was like the selling. It was sales calls were like the one thing that I dreaded the most. So we wanted to make with this business, how can we do it in a way where we don't actually really have to sell to anyone? We were like, we'll give people a free trial. So you don't have to make a big commitment straight away. You can come to one of our free events, see if you even like the idea of online networking, and then if you do, then you can get a trial and see what it's like to actually be a member and how much that will benefit you and your business. So yeah, I'd say come to one of our events and see how you like it.
Wow. Anything from you, Albert? Thanks, Rudy.
No, I'd say exactly the same thing as Rudy, funnily enough. Yeah, come to one of our free events, see what you think. We really believe in the Founders Network, so we give a free trial away. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But most people get to the end of the free trial and they continue. So yeah, come try it out.
And I would say to all those listening, let this podcast episode also be a promotion element to even more people joining your founders network. And I hope that people who listen to this podcast today will follow the links on the show notes to your own network and join Expedition and come along for a trial. You won't regret it, people. You absolutely won't regret it. Take it from me as a founding father of the Founders Network. I love that. I'm going to get a T-shirt with that on it. Founding
We'll
father of
send
the
you one.
Founders Network. Deal, deal. And listen, I'll take a picture of it all over the country. Everywhere I go, I'll take a picture of me in that T-shirt in the city that I'm at. So it's going to be like T-shirt on holidays kind of thing.
Yeah.
um, guys, you know. I, I want to celebrate first with you the success of the Founders Network today. I want to congratulate you both on the network model that you're delivering on a fortnightly basis, and from your launch date back in November, I can see quite clearly, being a member of the community, how exponentially your membership level is increasing week on week on week, and may continue to increase week on week on week. Uh, I continue to remain a steadfast ambassador for the Founders Network, and I know you guys greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that massively. Thank you.
No,
Yeah, no,
absolutely,
100%.
absolutely, and anything that I can do to promote, to further engage with individuals to join your network. Let me do. Please just get in touch with me. But other than that, Rudy and Albert, it's been great having you on the spotlight this afternoon. I wish you well in terms of your business. I know I'm going to meet you in a probably week and a half time, and at the next networking event, right? Well, so we won't have long to re-engage with one another. But I'd like to wish you well in terms of the business. I hope your network grows and grows and grows because it's so needed, right? The pressures on business today are exponential. Whether the downward pressure from costs, expenses, charges, the daily grind and the hustle of buying and selling. And it's nice to step off the wheel for 90 minutes every week
Yeah,
just to
no,
meet
100%.
like-minded individuals in a space that you've created that's warm, comfortable, friendly, engaging, where you can make loads of connections, and in essence, you know, build businesses together and collaboratively using the power of connection that you've created. So I celebrate that with you today. I absolutely celebrate that with you today. Please stay on the line once this podcast episode finishes. Any final comments from either of you in terms of the Founders Network? Anything that you would like to say finally about the Founders Network that's not already been said? I'm going to go to Rudy first.
Yeah, I mean, I think we sort of covered everything, but I'll just say that, if you are a founder, business owner, like a solopreneur like yourself, James, then please do join the Founders Network, and you'll find that it's a fantastic community that, you might struggle with loneliness, isolation. I definitely did when we were doing our first business. So it's a place full of like-minded people, and it's also a place where you can grow your business in a way that actually involves talking to real humans and not just talking to each other with AI. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rudy. Albert, where can people find the Founders Network?
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to put a link on your video,
Yeah.
but if there is, they can find it in the link below. If not, then you can head over to my LinkedIn. You just type in my name on LinkedIn. You can sign up through my LinkedIn, or you can just type on Google school.com/the Founders Network, and you can join that way as well.
Excellent. And everybody who's listening today, if you do one thing this Friday afternoon, if you do one thing when you finish this episode, go and press the link. Go and click the link to this Founders Network, because you won't regret it. Albert, Rudy, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, and it's been a pleasure to speak to you and in the spotlight.
Thank you.
Cheers, Seamus. Yeah, thank you for inviting us on, and it was a pleasure for our first podcast to be with you.
Yeah, it was always a pleasure.
I'm honoured.
It's a pleasure to speak with you as well.
I'm honoured. I'm absolutely honoured. You guys should celebrate or do something tonight, or lift the drink. For Friday. You've cracked your first podcast, and I have a feeling it's not going to be your last.
Well, yeah, hopefully. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same.
Great, magic. Well done, guys. Take
Cheers,
care.
Seamus. And you.
Thank you, Seamus.